Hi!
Hello, and welcome to the Daily Almanac for July 26th. So, let's get started.
This day in history!
On this day in history, July 26, 1775, Benjamin Franklin became postmaster-general of the United States. Also, on this day in 1788, New York joined the Union as the 11th state. New York was one of the original 13 colonies. The Dutch West India Company established the first settlement in what is now New York at Fort Orange near present-day Albany in 1624, and another in New Amsterdam on the site of present-day Manhattan a year later. After the British took over in the 1660s, the colony was renamed New York after the Duke of York. New York is known as the Empire State. New York is the financial center of the country. The state flower is the rose, and the capital is Albany. And on this day in 1969, scientists had their first look at the rocks that Apollo 11 astronauts brought back from the moon. Samples of these rocks are on display at the National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Today on Word Power, we're going to talk about the word fiction. Fiction is something that is made up out of someone's imagination. A piece of fiction is a story that the writer invents or makes up. Now you might say, I like to write stories about unicorns and fairies. When I grow up, I want to write fiction for a living. If a story is about something that really happened, it's called nonfiction.
Ooh, extremes.
Today on Extremes, we ask, what is the largest toad ever found on the planet? The answer is the cane toad, which can weigh almost 6 pounds or over 2.5 kilograms. They can grow to be 15 inches long, which is about 38 centimeters. These massive toads live in South America. They were brought to Australia because beetles were eating the sugarcane crop in Australia. Scientists thought the cane toads would eat the beetles and save the sugarcane. Unfortunately, the cane toads didn't take care of the beetle problem, and because they didn't have any predators in Australia, there were soon cane toads everywhere. Eventually, the cane toads became more of a problem than the beetles they were supposed to eat.
Health tips.
You know it's important to exercise, but remember, it's also important to work out correctly. To get your muscles ready for action, begin with a warm-up. Now, a warm-up has 2 parts. Part 1, you begin by walking in place slowly with your hands at your sides, and after a minute, walk faster. After another minute, lift your knees higher and swing your arms. Finally, jog in place for 2 minutes. Don't work too hard, just get your heart beating a little faster. Now comes part 2. Stretch for 5 to 10 minutes. Be sure to work the muscles in different parts of your body. Then it's on to your active workout. Years ago, the milkman used to deliver bottles of milk to people's houses. After the people finished the milk, the milkman picked up the empty bottles, washed them out, and refilled them. Now, it isn't easy to find milkmen anymore, but it's still very important to recycle glass. Glass takes thousands of years to break down into dirt in a landfill, and it's very simple to recycle it. When you recycle glass, it's melted down into a liquid and then formed into new bottles. But even though it's important to recycle, over 10,000 tons, which is 9,072 metric tons of glass, end up in landfills every year. Make sure you tell your friends to put their bottles in the recycling bin. Let's be the milkmen of the new millennium. Well, that's all the time we have left today for Daily Almanac. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you tomorrow.